Yo, what's up? My name's Clarence.
And I'm DJ Nuna.
And you're listening to Up in the Air,
A podcast on our thoughts, moods, and experiences on the personal, political, and cultural world around us. Come float with us. For this week's episode, we have the Groovy Tapes team with us. We have Corey, Solana, and Tavares, as well as our homie Koi, who y'all have heard from before.
It was such a fun conversation and honestly one of our favorite episodes. We talked about navigating the podcast industry, what inspired us growing up, the music that we're listening to now, and working and collaborating with your friends. We really hope you guys enjoy this episode. Peace.
Since you guys don't really know too much about me in general, we started Groovy Tapes all together, us three, Solana and Corey and me. And I've been an artist in the game for about 2 years now. I'm from South Seattle, and we all started our friendship at least in middle school. So we've known each other since South Shore days. We all went to South Shore. Fun fact, we're a part of the first graduating class from 8th grade graduating class from South Shore. So, just speaking on what we got going on so far is I just dropped a recent project of mine, and it's called Grew from the South. It's available on all platforms. It's just about me and my journey, starting off with everybody here. So that's at least for me. It's a little quick introduction about Tavares. So,
Sharing.
You gotta follow up.
I help? Well, I basically envisioned starting a podcast about a year ago. Was having very intense arguments with him and another friend hours about it, because it was supposed to happen maybe a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and then I kind of just forced myself into the media space, I guess. I took a very dangerous drive to Arizona.
Oh shit.
It's a very long story, but it was a very cool story. So it was my origin story of getting in the game is I drove to Arizona to sell a car and ended up buying all this equipment, and it slow rolled of pestering Tavares and just really honing this thing in. We started the Groovy Tapes, and now I've been able to do other things work with Koi, work with Harry, do all types of weird shit in the town and shoot underground shows. And it's been a cool year of just having a camera and being outside and just trying new shit that I've never done before.
For sure. That's super cool that you drove all the way down to Arizona.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Wait, did you drive by yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
I did it in 20 hours.
Damn. How long was that drive? How long was that drive?
It took 20 hours. I did it I started at midnight. I got in Arizona by 9 p.m. Central.
You did a straight shot to Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would have fallen asleep at the wheel or something.
That's really scary. It's scary as hell.
Really I took a 30-minute nap the entire day.
Oh my gosh.
Weird
Dang.
overpass. It was weird as fuck. Trying to take a nap in a hot ass car with no AC.
You're built different.
Oh, the goal was to stop pestering Koi about a camera, honestly. It was it was honestly to get in the game, but the drive was fucking nuts. It was it was time, I did the drive between, I didn't Google Maps. I just was fuck it, we're getting in the car, we're driving. I didn't know there was parts between LA and Vegas that are just fucking roads for hours.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no AC. It was July.
Holy shit. I mean, it's just a bunch of dry land, right? I don't even know what states are between that. Yeah.
Where is that?
Oregon, Idaho,
Wyoming?
California, and Vegas, and then Arizona.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
Props, yeah.
It's
Dope
dumb
as
as fuck.
hell. That wow.
That's a good story. That is a good story, though, for sure.
Really the dumbest shit. I would
really
never
started
suggest
everything.
it, but like,
It really
Like
did.
everything came.
Wait, why didn't anyone go with him?
Man, workers.
no, they all had to work.
It was on his day
Yeah.
off. It was,
Oh, I
it was on his day off, like his weekend.
Wow, so
I'm about to make the mob to Arizona. I'm about to go right now. I'm like, bro, I work from like 7 to 3, bro. Can't you wait or something? No. And then he came back.
Yeah.
He flew back and he was like, "What's up, bro? I'm back." I'm like, oh my god, that got the first camera.
That's
That got the first
First
camera.
camera, first light. That bought this laptop.
Yep.
It
what was
great.
your first camera?
The A6400. Sony Alpha. It's like it's my baby. It's like it's hella cool. It shoots 4K. It's a cool little camera. I was like, I walked into Glazers. I was like, I don't know shit about anything. I was like, I got this amount of money. How we doing this? And she was like, okay, cool. Like, do you want to do this or that? I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. Like, talk to me like I'm an idiot and like teach me. So she was like, this will be perfect for this. I got a tripod on discount. Like, she was just like figuring it out. She was like, you got 2 bands and to spend? I was like, okay, yeah. She was just finessing. And then I ended up getting a discount just because I felt like I came in there like a noob, and she was just like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna fuck him over. I'm gonna put him on a bunch of stuff. Now I go to Glazers every time I have a question or any like weird shit goes on. I'm just like, all right, I don't know this, and they're just like, oh, I got you.
They probably fuck with
No, yeah, that's super cool.
So
Solana
you
have,
guys,
oh.
I'm sorry. I was gonna ask. So you guys said that you met, like in middle school, but I'm curious to know like what kind of or what kept you guys together throughout. Were you guys like, did you go to the same high school, or did you kind of like?
Coy and I went to the same high school, but we didn't really like hang out or anything. And I've known Coy since kindergarten, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, hella long ago.
I know, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. We all just
Yeah, we
like
did all go to
really
different schools, and I
like
went to
I'm hanging out
college.
with Coy now because Corey and Coy like got situated again, so that's cool. But yeah, in high school we didn't really hang out, and then Tavares and Corey have been like hanging out like this forever. So I've always been friends with Tavares, and
Yeah.
we've all just kind of like just tried to stay together, especially like Seattle being so big but also so small. Like it's
For sure.
simple.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you live in the South End, right? You guys like see each other all the time, like.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Coy he was always involved with videography, and I've always done music, but I never put myself out there until like recently, because I got like confident enough to do people with music. But we've always been connected on that level because he started this thing called Loveless Ad Productions.
I remember that.
And,
You wanted me to be in a video for that.
Man, he was about to be the next Wong Fu, I promise you.
I remember
No,
that.
I'm real because, like, our generation of like YouTube videos, we're
Right.
watching everything.
For
that
real.
romantic shit, that
Yeah.
like the funny comedy skits. That's what we was doing out here. If Coy didn't stick in with this videography and him always exploring that, I feel like us here in this room wouldn't like just be on that kind of level. You know what I'm saying? Because I took my music seriously. Once I seen Coy take his videography seriously, I think Corey can attest to that. And he was like, I see my friends doing their things seriously, so let's be serious about this and like continue to go through the ups and downs. So I think that's what really connected us, because in the long run, like we've seen all of each other doing our things, and we didn't even go to the same schools, and like but we still kept up with each other and supported each other. So it's like you keep those people around you, and it's like that's really what happened to keep us together. So
Shout out to Koi. I mean, he's kind
For
of
real.
like he's the glue. Like he introduced me to Corey, and then Koi's like introduced me to a lot of other people. And I remember I met him like my freshman year in college in class, and he was like, "Yo, can you be in my video?" And it's gonna be a library love story. And he's gonna submit it to a Wong Fu contest.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, it never happened, but I mean, it's like great to see the shift in your work, Koi, like from Loveless Acts, and then you kind of went like vlogging, and then you got more into like music video stuff. So
you guys talked a lot about like kind of watching those YouTube videos as inspiration, and I'm wondering like what kind of other things did you grow up on that inspired you to be like as creative as you are now? Like what kind of music were you listening to? Like what were you watching on TV and stuff like that?
Well, for me, I always watch YouTube. I never like really got into YouTube until the Groovy Tapes, but like I grew up on, even though some of these people might be controversial now, like Jenna Marbles and like Ray William Johnson and like Shane Dawson, even though he is very controversial right now.
yeah, he got canceled recently.
Yeah, for good reasons. But yeah, I don't know who else. Those are the people on YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot more, but I just can't really think of them.
No, for sure. They were definitely a defining, part of that, like when YouTube was really peaking. So for sure. I mean, you're like the editing. Are you the editing behind the Groovy Tapes? That's amazing. It's great to see you like on camera and stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun for sure.
Yeah, she been on a few episodes too, man.
Yeah.
I really grew up on like cartoons and shit. I have a lot of referencing of my life with like cartoons and animation. So I really like anime and like traditional American cartoons, and I think that kind of like kept my mind creative as well as being involved with music. So,
for sure. What's your favorite anime?
Oh my god, brother always be getting on me.
I talked about it last time.
Look, he's ready to fire my ass up about this.
You're like, that's a weak ass anime, bro.
Man, recently I just started a One Piece. I really fuck with one Punchline. That shit's hella funny. Attack on Titan's one of my favorites. I'm really into the action. I like Seven Deadly Sins. It's a long list. Sorry, I watch a lot of anime, but
no, for sure. I feel like I kind of watch anime. Clarence got into it during quarantine a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. I was definitely like keeping up with like Attack on Titan. Yeah, that's just fire. And Neon Genesis. Have you guys seen that?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's fire. I was like binging all the movies and stuff too.
Ooh, that old school animation is hella tough. Like I fuck with it.
I mean, honestly, it feels like super timeless too, in a way, right? Like, it looks new in a way, like super modern and futuristic and shit. But Corey, what about you? What did you grow up on and like?
I don't know. I've been like thinking of everybody else's answer. Like I wasn't necessarily a YouTube kid. Like I was watching cartoons. Like I spent the majority of the time watching cartoons, but I would say they shaped me more now because I go back and like kind of know a bunch of mannerisms because of cartoons. But I wouldn't have said then that cartoons was influencing me. I was really running around doing dumb shit with my homies. Like we was just outside walking everywhere. And that shaped me, like walking around Seattle and like doing everything I wasn't supposed to be doing. Kind of like molded me a little bit more than anything else because because I'm not a native to Seattle, so like everyone I meet here and like I'm still friends with is family because like it's been like really hard to like meet people in Seattle. So strange, but like I got here at such a good point, I feel like. So I got to meet all these like cool people I think are the coolest people in the world, kind of grow up and like form themselves and like kind of fuck with me in like this weird like cosmic way. But yeah, I would just say just being a what shaped me more is being adopted by Seattle, coming from New York. Because Seattle kids are hella weird, but there's a lot of cool shit. Like, you guys are kids, it's a lot of weird shit I have learned that exists, but it's so fire. Like once you can adapt to like Seattle, like it's hella, it's like love. It's like a shoe.
For sure.
What you want to wear.
What was Koi like when you first met him? Has he changed a lot?
No, not at all. Not changed in a little bit. No. Just drip.
He still gets grumpy around 5 p.m.
He's the same kid.
Yeah, he's the same kid.
Same kid.
Man,
that's crazy.
Just more drip. We all got more drip.
No, I remember like seeing a picture of Koi from like middle school, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize you.
He used to wear
this guy right here.
You should have seen him with the when everyone was dying and shit. He had the frosted tips.
The frosted tips. Yeah.
Going crazy. Same Koi.
Koi, how about you? I feel like you're like kind of quiet today.
The Groovy Tapes just take over. I watch hella YouTube. I kind of watch the same stuff I want to watch. I grew up watching hairy shit. You grew up too? Like Kevin Mac, like D2's films, like back in
D2's
I don't know where in high school, early.
Shit ever.
That shit, I was like, damn, Seattle's filthy. Yeah, that was like, but I watch hella YouTube, Wong Fu, all that stuff. I'm an internet kid.
You ever watch those like Asian rappers?
I did.
Deep Pride.
Deep Pride.
Deep Pride. Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
I remember that Forever remix that they did.
Oh, J Rise.
Oh yeah.
No, not J Rise. Sorry. Lil Craze
went crazy, boy. Like, for real. I fucking their Bedrock remix.
Yeah.
Their Bedrock remix. I was slapping that. Burn that on my DVD,
bro.
Like, you feel me?
I forget all about that. That was
pretty cool.
Bro, that had me thinking like I was like, can I be a rapper too? Like,
you got a really fun on.
Man, you should have hopped on.
Yeah. Anyone can be a rapper, bro.
Practice makes perfect.
Man, how has the journey been for you guys so far? You know, being in the podcast game and you know, creating a new wave of like interview, because your guys' stuff is like super chill, laid back. Like you can really listen through the whole thing, and like I don't even want to stop it. Like
It's soothing.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I think Clarence and I have had this show for 2 years, but we didn't really take it seriously until a couple months ago, where we like started a channel and then tried to get it on Spotify, and like kind of edited things out too, or like made it compiled it together and stuff. But yeah, we started since Clarence and I met in our class in college. So we met then, and then we signed up to be part of the college radio, and we didn't know each other that well, honestly. I've known Clarence for like the duration of Up in the Air. But yeah, we kind of just went more from like music, and then now we're like more interview centered, because we like to hear from people like just from the Seattle area. And yeah, like more chill conversation, like you're hanging out with friends or something. So
Cool.
Yeah, Clarence, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I never like listened to that many podcasts growing up, you know, at all. So like a lot of that's super new. And I mean, you have like those like murder kind of narrative story podcasts, and you have like people doing interviews, and I always lean towards like the interviews just because I like hearing and learning about like other people and their experiences. And so I mean, yeah, I think that it's nice to have both local people show up on the show, and like also people who are like completely like we have no idea like where they grew up and like what they've experienced in their life. And so it's nice to have a balance. But that's why I'm like super psyched to have you guys on, because you know, a lot of the people that we've interviewed aren't from, you know, like South Seattle, you know, and like I grew up here, and so it's nice to have like that kind of shared experience.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, just appreciate having you guys on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. what was like your vision with the Groovy Tapes, and has it changed over time since it's like a year and a half in?
Originally, I was supposed to host it, and everyone was supposed to be a guest.
I see.
My original vision, he wasn't even the co-host at the time.
What made you bring him on?
Yes. So when I really started getting into interviews, I was doing some very shitty things on my iPhone. This originally started on me shooting on my iPhone. Koi was there. There's this really long interview that I did with Tavares. Worst fucking audio ever. It's the worst thing in the world.
I remember that. Is that in Kubota?
Yeah, no, that's not Kubota one. That's the second one. The first one is when we're in the International District out of in front of Pete's Coffee.
Yeah.
That's,
that's three.
Yeah.
That's other guy. That's crazy.
There was another dude there.
I forgot.
I don't know.
But he was there. I remember. He was there.
Anyway, so it was originally just supposed to be me and Tavares was my first interview because I was like, all right, I did so many shitty ones. I gotta run it back with my guy Tavares. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And it was such like it was so nice to have all the equipment, the headphones, the mics, and just like the camera. So it just felt good doing it with Tavares. And he ended up like going home and whatever. And I ended up texting him. I was like, hey, I can't do this without you. And I was like, if I'm gonna do the Groovy Tapes, or it wasn't even the Groovy Tapes, it was just like, if I'm gonna do a podcast, I was like, I have to have you do it with me because the charisma is there. And then we just decided to do interviews because it was like, we still want to hang out with our homies, but we might as well put them on a platform that they can like talk about how they feel and what they think. So that's why you get the one with Massachusetts with us, because that's him and I just introducing it. And then you get the kind of unorganic one, the organic one with Koi, but like it's not really an interview, it's just him kicking it with us. So we were just working through the stages, and then eventually Solana came on and saved us so that we could stop shooting so terribly. So like you can see the switch on it, like on our platform when I was doing like all the setting up and all the shooting, and then when Solana gets on, it kind of gets a lot better and more professional looking and like cohesive. So we kind of like formed through fire of just like trying to stay consistent, and but like naturally the world set on fire, so we like fell off a little bit and had to figure some things out. But I don't know, it's to overall answer your question, I have no idea where I see it. I hope to continue to have people on and continue to have like be able to be on platforms and grow it so we can do interviews with everybody, from nurses to service workers to sex workers to everyone in between. Like I want to do politicians, but I also want to do like hood ass rappers, and like I want to do everybody. Like we want to go overseas. We don't want to put ourselves in a box where we only do certain things. So that's why we're really happy to be on your guys' platform, because you're very like we're not our typical guests, and I really love it. It kind of shows a different light of like how we can be on other podcasts and be on other platforms. So I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really important to have a range of who you're interviewing, just to like share different stories and perspectives. But I think this is something that Clarence and I are trying to still figure out. But what makes an interview like a good interview? Like I think we're still trying, like when I listen to podcasts, like as a host now, I try to pay attention, like what do they do that makes it, you know, like a good podcast? Because I think I used to be nervous about like conversing and like asking, like even with the interview with Koi, even though I've known him for so long, I was nervous, like just keeping the conversation going. But like for you guys, what does that look like, or what does that mean?
I guess from like an outside perspective, because I'm observing a lot, I'm behind the camera, and they're doing the conversation. It also, like, the other person really has to come through too. So if the other person isn't doing that, then you are going to have a flat interview. And adapting with that, I mean, we just kind of keep pushing through it. We'll keep asking questions. We'll keep, you know, just the vibes light and the energy, you know, going, but it really does sometimes depend on the other person. Because they do a great job on keeping that conversation going and having that confidence and just, you know, pushing through it. So, but yeah, it does fall on the other person sometimes. So it can be hard to adapt to that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I guess it would, for me, it's we do very basic research because we want to know enough about a person to like respect their time, but we also want to be able to have organic conversations that go somewhere. So like, I think me and Tavares do a good job of splitting the serious to like funny sort of side. Yeah. Like he may know someone a lot better and he may have like, oh, I really want to ask them this question and this question. And I may just be the one like asking the random things as we're talking of just like, oh, you said
to know someone.
Yeah. So I'm like, so we usually split it on like, we either like both organically obsess and do a bunch of research, or one of us tries to be like, all right, you know this person a lot better. You're gonna hit the questions of like the random shit you know about them personally. And then one of us would do a good job of just asking like fun questions, lighthearted, like throwing it to a place where your mind can kind of wander and be like, oh shit, I've never thought about dogs walking themselves, or something like weird, some weird random like thing that comes to your mind while you're sitting there staring at someone else.
Right.
So it definitely helps to have someone you could just bounce off of when you're in like distress. Like there was a while where we were just having those conversations of just like, all right, if I don't have anything to say, you have to say something, because it'll just be dead air, and like that we don't like people can hear the dead air. So like you like, if I have nothing to say, you at least gotta be like help, or just random, you gotta say something random. Like, yeah, just like we have a good, I guess it's like knowing him for basically my whole life, and just knowing like what bothers him, and knowing that if we're not vibing with the guest, or the guest may not be vibing with us, we can at least rely on like defusing the situation by making fun of each other, or him saying something random about something he didn't like that happened in traffic, or this dumb, you know, just knowing each other's ticks, I guess, really helps get through, because it makes people like, oh, I feel like I know these guys a lot better. At least for me.
I think that's super true, because I like having a co-host, because Clarence, like, yeah, if I don't have anything to say, Clarence can like interject. So.
Or I'll just be like, Jubilee, next question.
No, yeah, you sometimes like put me on the spot.
Yeah, I think the experience in itself, and like us starting the Groovy Tapes and the fire behind it, is really just wanting to have that conversation. I think the reason why Corey, like, you know, asked me to, you know, do this with him is because, you know, throughout life, I never turned down a conversation with someone. Never. Anybody we meet on the street, or anybody who's talking in my direction, like, you know, I will talk to them back, because I've always believed that, you know, like if someone needed someone to talk to, like, you know, that's just human nature. That's along those lines. So, like, us creating Groovy Tapes was that like way in that like portal of like telling people, here, come to the table. You have someone that's gonna listen to you and talk to you and really, you know, dive in your mind. Or if you were not diving in your mind, we're just hanging out. Like sometimes people just need someone to like sit across from them and like have that verbal connection. So that's like the roots of Groovy Tapes, and like us coming together like, yo, let's just, like, we do this shit for free, you know? We just talk to each other for free and like hang out, and like, you know, that's always been like a center of our friendship, you know, conversing with one another. So why not have a platform that utilizes that, and have like the public, our people who aren't being, you know, served correctly. We have media outlets that paint a picture on our communities growing up out here, and that's like already confirmation bias. So it's like having to battle that, and like our people are already generally discouraged. We finally were like, let's come together and put this out there for our people and ourselves, because we're like, yeah, we talk to each other all the time. Let's talk to new people and
for sure.
bring them within, our space. So that's how I feel about it, and like
I have a question for you guys.
How we created it.
How does it feel to release merchandise and now have tote bags and
yeah?
How does that accomplishment feel for you guys?
I mean, we're still working on it. I think we didn't even create like a brand for ourselves until like quarantine. Like every single when we would promote our stuff, it wouldn't, like Clarence and I, since we're both designers, we just like take turns, and so nothing looked cohesive. We didn't have a logo, so that came about like at the beginning of quarantine. But I really just made some of the totes because my friend was really getting into like fabric painting, which is like a really specific hobby, but it more just came from like me wanting to support her and like pay her to do something that she's passionate about. And yeah, we only have like 4 of those totes made, but we're trying to look into how to like mass produce. I've never had merch before though, so it's definitely new, but it feels good. I think it was surprising to see people like wanting to get some of our merch too. But
yeah. I think also like it's always hard to figure out what the brand is and like what it looks like and stick with it, and so just pushing it out there, it's like taking that leap of faith in a way where like you're just putting the content out there and you're putting the merch out there, and it's gonna evolve obviously, and like I think it's always the pressure of doing the initial step, you know what I mean? So now that we have the merch out there, like we have some sort of physical thing, I think it's like there's a lot of room to create more, and like I don't feel as much pressure to do so. But yeah, I think we're just excited to do more of stuff like that.
I think like the hardest part is getting over, because I think a lot of times people are like, oh, it's not ready to be shown to the world yet, or like even with the brand, it's going to evolve constantly, whether or not like no matter how like solid you feel about it, it's always going to change inevitably. So I think it's just, I always like to tell people like just put yourself out there, like put your work out there. Like people like to see growth over time, and it's not a huge deal if you have to like switch it up and stuff. So I think Clarence and I have really been like experimenting, even with quarantine and not having access to like the studio equipment and stuff. We played around with like Instagram Live, and we were gonna try Twitch streaming. We didn't do that. And then we tried even like Zoom, where people could like come onto the call and stuff, like the listeners could come onto the call. But I think we're finally finding like some rhythm during quarantine and like this style of interviewing. But yeah, are you guys planning on releasing merch?
Oh yeah.
What's in the works?
Hoodies. We're trying to do we were talking about it right before we got on this call. So we're doing our first job will be hoodies. I don't know when. I'm thinking early 2021. And then we'll do 4 drops a year. And then so yeah, we'll constantly change it. We have a few ideas of like collaborating with people, just because that's the podcast. Like we work with people with interviewing, and without people coming on our platform and like helping us, like we couldn't even do interviews. So I think the goal is to pay artists, friends, people that either have a connection with the Groovy Tapes or we are fans of, to like help make merch with us and take our logo, take the logo you made and get inspired and then revamp it in their own way, or take it and run with it in their own inspiration. And then we'll produce merch from that, and we'll do seasonal drops. So we'll do winter, fall, spring and summer, and then we won't make a bunch of it so it won't get saturated. And then to respect the artist, we won't reprint it, so that it's like a one-time, we dropped the merch, they got paid off the whatever, however they want to do the deal. And
make exclusive clothing.
Make exclusive clothing, because clothing, as much as I love the expression of it. I love not wearing the same thing as people, and especially if we're such Seattle based, and there's only so many people you run into in Seattle that can dress. So if you all have the same merch, it'll get for me, it'll get saturated just because we're not a brand, clothing brand, we're a podcast.
Right.
So I think it'll be cool. Like if you want it, you bought it. If you saw it on someone else and you want it, you probably can't have it because we probably sold out. So yeah, that's the goal. We got some fun ideas for 2021, and then I got fun ideas for 2022 and to beyond. Like I'm hoping to have Koi do something. We'll
idea
see.
one of them's gonna do.
You know? We'll
I
see.
feel like paying your friends and like working with them is like the best feeling. Like, you know, I made the logo for y'all, and then like Koi like animated the logo, and it looks so good. I love working with one another. Yeah.
Just keep the money in the circle.
I think our scene is or at least the industry out here is booming, and we just need to support one another and like really just need to buckle down and create that wave of like, yeah, it's good to work with each other out here, and you know, it's I think collaboration instead of competition is the most important. So it's like just being able to lend that helping hand has been really cool, and it's been most of the journey, you know. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like Corey needed me, Corey needed me, or I needed them.
Yeah.
They're willing to come and show up. So
what's a project that all three or all four of you work together that's like your favorite? Because Koi, you recently, or have you all worked on like one project or like a video?
I think the South thing's in your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough though.
The favorite one?
Xavier's was more fun.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought South was fun.
South was hella work for me.
Were you like producing
yeah.
that?
So much like I was so stressed.
What did you
the
say?
South
Oh, like
was so fun.
Corey, because you're like, are you getting into like producing and stuff?
Of the city.
We were just
Guaranteed.
discussing which one was more fun, the Xavier Weeks video or the South video.
Okay.
Corey was saying that the Xavier one was more fun.
Wait, yeah, I wouldn't because that was like I was able to push the button on so many things that I was done with my job leading up. So I was doing a whole different thing. That, you know, during it, I was just kicking it. So like day one, I had to set up the lights, but like after that, I was just like, I get to watch, kick it, and vibe. Like I got to watch the car. Like I was giving you shit for literally 2 days. So South, I was just like, I can't drop the ball because they're not bringing me back. Like,
man, that was an experience in itself. South was really like a crazy thing to witness, at least from my end. I didn't do too much that day. It was just more of like a supportive hand. I helped with some lighting, and like I think that was the coolest thing as an artist, because you know I'm an artist, so I'm like it's usually me in front of that camera and like, oh, like we're doing that vision and this and that, or less of like me, yo T, go fix that lighting up there. We need it a certain way. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, just because it like made me feel well-rounded, at least, you know. Xavier Weeks my bad. Weeks went crazy. Because that shit was shot at my house, and it was like,
that's true. That was fire.
It was really fun, and I had a great time. So that was really cool. Yeah, we're working on a lot of projects. We've worked recently on a lot of projects. At least I'm getting a different hand in it, because we shot same thing. Koi and Corey shot that on some crazy shit.
I helped with lighting.
Hey, that's what's up. I love that song.
It's a good song.
Thank you.
That's on fire.
Yeah, it's really good.
Run that shit up. Yeah, that shit.
It's really cool. Like that full circles back to the YouTube thing. That sample to that song is an old like poly like classic. Like That shit is so crazy. it's like some freestyle shit with some Usos from California. So I was like, I watched that growing up. People in their songs, and we sampled it. It was a fun time. It was shot on my birthday. I was like,
happy birthday.
It was fun.
Yeah, honestly, that's like my song of the week. Like, same thing. It was such a good song, and it's on all platforms, right?
Yes.
The whole project is fire.
Yeah, even on like Amazon Music, Google Play, like all that. Have to, man. It's just the way to go. A lot of people aren't listening through. Oh, what's up, Nita? A lot of people are listening through multiple streaming devices. So if you just want a lot more ears, you gotta get yourself on all platforms.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good
Thank
segue.
you. I'm so honored you said that though. Same thing as Song of the Week was.
Yeah, we'll have it in the playlist for this.
Woo!
That's a good segue because, you know, if you guys had a song prepared for yourself, we want to, you know, we always like to have the tradition where our guests choose a song of the week. So since there's 4 of you guys, we'll have 4 of your songs on our playlist. So if you could go around real quickly and tell us like what song you've been listening to a lot this week, what kind of maybe encapsulates your mood or whatever you're feeling. Who wants to start?
I'll go with My People, Tupe TK. He's just one of the hottest artists out right now from South Seattle. I want to support him in that, and you know, I've been really bumping his project, and his style and everything has been really speaking to me lately. So,
I'm gonna go Tuse or Don by my homie Kejon. I've had a really, really good week, so it's been a lot of celebrating and listening to like the vibe, especially as the weather changes. It's one of my favorite driving music, especially driving around the town. Yeah, easy.
I'm gonna say Temptations by South and Siva and Juju. It's a good song.
How you coming?
I'm gonna say Need You by South and Siva.
We'll have all the tracks.
I'm not even joking. That song is crazy.
I want to shoot that. We gotta go to the snow.
That just means stream Groove from the South, everyone. All love. Like,
Yeah.
my friends are so dope. I didn't even expect that. You guys are crazy. I'm over here blushing.
We'll definitely like promote your new work because I feel like it's super good. And the music video was really fun too. And Koi was in it.
He's my brother. Like, it's a good project. The song, I keep hyping it up, but it's actually good. Everything is good at the offer. That's like,
but yeah, thanks for. Oh wait, Clarence, what's yours?
Well, everyone has a local artist for their songs of the week.
Well, international song.
Yeah,
go international.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm curious. What's like one of your Tavares? Like, what's your own favorite song that you've written?
Oh my God, going crazy. I think personally, recent work, I would go with Roni. It's on the project. It's one of my favorite songs. I was going through a tough time in my life writing the song, so just to like reflect on that and the fun I had recording it, and like pretty much it breaking down a way for me to create the rest of the project, because that was the first song I recorded with the new engineer team, Trey Life. It flip-flopped for me because, you know, I had a tough start to the year, but coming to this point, I'm like on all cylinders, and like everything I've been doing has been encapsulated for this. So Roni.
Roni.
Yeah.
All right, boom. That's my song of the week.
Man, what the hell?
It's just gonna be a playlist with all your songs.
You guys are amazing.
it's a project
Takeover. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming on, bro. Yeah, I mean, I know that we can always do more collaboration in the future, but I'm just happy that we were able to get this one through.
Yeah, every time we connect with someone, we always extend the invitation. So come be on the game show in the near future. we're throwing a game show. So if you guys want to come and play like Scrabble or like
I love Scrabble
or anything, the Groovy Tapes game show. So you guys are more than welcome. So
that's cool. I also like the mukbang style shows too.
Oh yeah, we
wait. Was one of y'all in like the shumai, the shrimp shumai one?
That was
that was you. Okay. I remember telling Koi like I think I could eat. Wait, how many shumais was it?
24.
It was 24, and they were like this big.
No,
yeah.
In 20 minutes,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's real. That's like no edit. I did no edit on that. It's just like all I did is add the sound effects. He really ate it in 20 minutes.
Oh my god, I haven't eaten shumai since. So.
Oh. No, yeah, but thanks so much for coming on. We're super excited to promote like your. Oh wait, what's like one podcast episode that you really love that everyone should listen to? Like, is there one that sticks out for y'all?
Imitation gigs.
I think all of them have really good hidden important messages.
But they're all fire.
They're
we'll like have a playlist of all episodes. No, yeah.
There's a gem in all of them, and then there's a bunch of bullshit in like a lot of it.
And it really depends on what you're looking for. I mean, you could go and watch Jason's episode and just get a whole bunch of, in town protesting and like just really important things going on in the city. Or you could go watch Imitation Gigs and hear all about the dance culture in Seattle. And there's so much different.
Koi go to the strip club for the first time.
Yeah, you can hear about
strip club. Oh, I remember.
The most legendary strip club story, by the way.
There's so many.
My favorite would probably be the most recent one with my friend Baby Butter.
That's another.
That was just a vibe.
It was
really cool just to
Germs was fire.
Germs was fire. Yeah.
They're all like you can always find something that you're looking for in all of them, just because we try to like find a range of people to like have in front of us with different backgrounds. So the Imitation Gigs is my favorite because it's the one that got us the most roasted.
I feel like I've watched like Koi's one. I watched the one, I think it was the teacher. I think that was on.
I like that
Fire.
one.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's our 7th grade teacher.
Yeah, we're thinking about having more teachers on. Yeah.
That's fire.
I really liked when you were saying like, talking to nurses or like sex workers, because I think it's cool to talk to people in different fields and stuff.
It's just important, especially, just to make sure no one's voice gets edited or their message doesn't get portrayed in a way that they don't want it to be portrayed.
For sure.
Yeah, it's really important.
No, yeah, but we'll have everyone's contacts and links below in the description bar. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, and tune in next week.